What's up, Node.js developers? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have something special. Well, in the last couple of months, I've been asked often by a lot of new people to programming and some of our students, what would I choose? How would I learn something? What is better to get good at when just getting started, and where to put your focus? So I know that in the beginning, learning programming might feel daunting because there are just so many things out there. You're not sure if you're doing the right thing, and you're not sure if you're on the right roadmap or on the right track. So for that, I decided, let's go ahead and talk about this. And I will share today with you from my experience what basically I would do if I had to start over from zero, and how I would optimize this process in order to get to a point where I can sustain myself as a professional full-stack developer as soon as possible. So this is going to be a practical development roadmap to go from zero to hero, and it's going to be based on my experience and how I would do it again if I would start over. For everyone who is new here, hello, my name is Vadim. I'm a full-stack developer with probably over 10 years of experience at the moment. I founded multiple startups because that's where my passion is, building stuff, building applications that end users can use and can make their life better. But I also worked in very professional environments. I've done my internship at Amazon as a software engineer, and there I managed to learn some different skills that you would learn in startups, and I think that contributed to me becoming a better developer. I also built probably over 40 applications here on YouTube. A lot of them you probably are familiar with. You can check them out on the channel. So yeah, I've gained quite a lot of experience in the past years, and today I'm gonna share it with you and how you can do the same as well. So let's roll the intro. I will say hello everyone in the chat room. Let me know where are you joining us from, and we can get started. Hi guys, hello everyone in the chat. Shall we get into the topic? And here we have a first question. Why do you use React Native over Flutter? If you want to know the answer to this question, stick around this video and we're gonna get not specifically, but we're gonna cover some of that topic as well. So I also have some very exciting news to announce by the end of this video, which you might be interested in. So make sure to stay connected till the end. And yeah, let's get started. And with the topic of today's video, from zero to hero as a developer. First of all, I decided to split this journey into 4 distinctive phases, because during each phase, you're gonna use different resources and your goal will be completely different. So the first phase that you would start with, and the phase that a lot of people might tend to skip or go very fast over it, is the phase 1, the fundamentals. I would also call this the boring phase, but at the same time, it is so crucial later on in your career to make sure you have strong fundamentals and build on top of them. If we compare these phases with different phases in the childhood of a kid, then I would say that this phase is somewhere between 1 and 2 years, where the kid just starts learning, is building his fundamentals, he starts learning how to talk and in general how to interact with the world, trying to understand what is dangerous and what's not dangerous. So that's exactly what you also will be doing here. You're gonna go ahead and get used to the stuff, get to understand the fundamentals and the basics of programming. You're gonna start with learning the fundamentals of programming, how do the computer execute code, what is the flow, and trying to better understand what's happening behind the scenes will help you understand how to write these programs that will be executed by the computer. You're going to start with understanding and working with variables, with primitive data types like strings, integers, floating number, booleans, and so on. And you're going to start understanding how to basically work with them. For example, how to add up numbers, how to concatenate strings, how to do some checks, and how to invert some booleans. Like very basic concepts, but things that you will need in any kind of situation if you're going to become a developer. No matter the technology, no matter the industry, no matter anything, like you're going to need these fundamentals. After that, you're going to get into some basic data structures, array, lists, queue, maybe lists and queue. Like at first, you just need to understand conceptually, like what are they and why do we need them. But with arrays here, I think it's a very important part, and you need to actually feel very comfortable working with arrays. And here, when I'm talking about working with arrays, is basic manipulations of array, adding stuff to the array, adding to the end of the array, adding to the start of the array, finding a specific element in the array, finding the highest or the smallest or the first one that meets a criteria. Then maybe you're going to get into some basic algorithms. Here, the basic ones are at least sorting. To be able to sort an array yourself without calling a predefined method like .sort is also very helpful for you. Not because you might necessarily need to know how to sort it yourself, because in a lot of situations later on, you're just going to simply call a .sort method in your programming language. But understanding how to manipulate arrays, how to sort them, how to change order, how to use additional variables to move things around is so crucial for connecting the dots and understanding in general how to work with a little bit more complex data structures, data that is array. And believe me, you're going to work with arrays no matter the situation. If you're going to build applications, there are arrays of posts. If you're going to build web applications, there are arrays everywhere. If you're going to be a game developer, you still need arrays to store all the enemies that are on the map. I don't know. So very, very important. After that, you're going to work with input and output. You're going to learn how to request some input from the user and then display something on the screen. I think that's very crucial, and basically your first programs that you're going to write will depend on this input. They will be very boring. There will most probably be CLI programs that run in a terminal and just do write your text and so on. But this is going to be crucial for you to write your first applications. Then, of course, functions are also a fundamental building block of programming, and understanding how they work, and most importantly, understanding how to extract separate logic in different functions and how to separate concerns is going to be important. Separation of concerns is basically trying to group logical pieces of code together in order for your code to be easier to work with later on, to be more general, in order to be easier to adapt to new challenges, new features, and so on. So the better you're gonna separate your code, the better you're gonna organize it, the easier it's gonna be for you to improve it and move on with your project. Okay. The next question, so far we talked about like what to learn, like specific topics and so on. The next question might be, okay, but what programming language should I choose to learn these fundamentals? Here, I really believe that it doesn't matter what programming language you would use, because at the end of the day, what the goal is to learn the concepts, not to learn the syntax. Because once you understand the concept, learning a syntax of a programming language is a very trivial task. So if you have very good fundamental, nowadays, like if I would start learning a completely new programming language, for me it might take a week, maybe 2 weeks to get used to it and build something real with it, because I already know all of these concepts. It's just going through the documentation, learning the syntax, and then applying it in practice. And with practice, you start memorizing the syntax. So what I want to say here, syntax is not that important. You have to focus on the concepts. You have to understand them, to conceptualize them, to visualize how an array basically is structured in memory. And the programming language that you choose, it's really up to you. For me, when I started out, I started with a very low-level programming language. I started with C++, and at one point, it's way more difficult to start with such a low-level programming language, which is very strict, which is you have to manage the memory yourself, so it's quite complicated to work with it. But by doing that, I think it made me understand better the other dynamic programming languages and even JavaScript and so on, because I know what's happening behind the scenes. I know what a memory leak is, because I've been working with them way from the beginning. But it's not mandatory. I probably don't recommend if you're if you're studying yourself, if you're self-taught, probably don't recommend going into low-level programming languages like C++. I would recommend sticking with a higher-level programming language with JavaScript. Maybe Python is quite easy to get started with, and so on. But when you're using these high-level programming languages like JavaScript, whenever you have a task of sorting stuff out, if you are learning how to sort, try to do it yourself with a simple for each. Don't rely on the functions provided by the programming language, because you're not going to learn in that case. You're just going to use it. So after you know how to use it, then you can go ahead and use the predefined methods. Okay, and during this process, how to learn, what resources to use, where to find things. I'll include a very small part from a nice book that I have here. School yourself. So education and schooling is two different things, and they don't always overlap. Whether you're in school or not, it's always your job to get yourself educated. So basically, Google everything. Google your dreams, Google your problems. Don't ask questions before you Google it. You'll either find the answer or you'll come up with a better question. Whether I went to school or not, I would always study. I think that's very important. Like realizing that if you are on the path to become a programmer, from now on, you are never gonna stop educating yourself. You're never gonna stop studying and learning new things, because it's such a fast-moving industry. Everything is moving at light speed. Nobody can keep up with all the news, all the new technologies. One day it's blockchain, it's Web3, another day it's AI and ChatGPT and all the plugins and so on. So it's really a journey of learning, educating, picking what's interesting to you, leaving out what you think that it's nice, but it's not for me. And yeah, that's basically the only way to stay relevant in this industry is to always keep learning and growing. For the resources that you can use at this stage when you're just getting started, YouTube is your friend. There are so many introduction to programming courses on YouTube. There are introduction to specific programming language. So if you're learning JavaScript, go ahead and go with introduction to JavaScript and so on. Books can also be a good resource. Sometimes they get out of date quite fast, but you can find good ones that offer you a very structured way of learning. Because sometimes with YouTube, you'll find a video of 10-20 minutes that teaches you one small topic. And you learn, it's good, but after you finish it, you are a bit lost. Okay, but what's next? What do I do now? Where should I explore? Should I learn something else? Or so on. So at this moment, you need some kind of guidance or some kind of curriculum to know what to learn one after another and to understand all of these fundamental concepts. Another alternative way is competitive programming. That's what I did when I was at this moment, and just for a reference, I was in this period for quite a long period of time. Probably around 3 years, I was just grinding my fundamentals, like without building and without going over the board. Like I was just grinding fundamentals, algorithms, data structures. I was participating in a lot of competitive programming. My hobby at that time was actually these programming contests. I was top 3 programmers in my country for 3 years when I was in that period. And competitive programming's websites, specifically the ones that add a gamification part to the problems that you're solving, is really fun because you are just kind of solving a problem, you see the result, you compete with other people, and it's a fun way to put in the reps, to do more, to learn something new. So not sure. I don't have experience with all of them. Some of them might be more challenging and advanced. Some of them can offer easy programming problems that you can practice on. You can compete with others. At this stage, your programs will most likely look very boring. They will look something like this. You're going to have like a CLI interface where the user will be able to add some numbers and you're going to, do something. You're going to calculate the sum of them, or you're going to ask the user to insert a list of numbers and you're going to sort them, or you're going to find the biggest one. You're going to calculate the average. So the point that I'm trying to make right now is that's why I believe this part is boring, but it's so important. It's boring because you don't see some final result. You don't see an application that someone might use on their phone or someone might use on their computer. It's only these silly programs that are fun, probably only to you, and you show it to your friends or to your family. They're like looking at you, what? And that's what you did like for the last 10 hours. And you're like, yes, like I finally understand something. I finally built this application. Like for you, it's exciting. For others, it might not be that exciting. But yeah, go through this period because it's going to definitely and help you a lot later on. Okay, so I think that's everything about phase 1. Phase 1 is about fundamentals. It's about just getting your foot in the door, and it doesn't matter what direction you are choosing yet. If you are just learning, fundamentals will help you in any situation later on. Now, the second phase. I called it Go Wild, and here you would build stuff. You'll try new technologies. Here you are the explorer. If we do the same comparison with the kid's childhood, this phase is probably, like his whole childhood from 4 or 5 up until 10 years old, where the kid is just pure exploration. Like he tries to understand how everything works. He picks up new hobbies every single month. He's trying to look how others are doing, maybe how adults are doing, and are trying to mimic them, and in this way trying to understand how the world works. So exactly the same, you as a developer in your childhood, you're gonna go wild, you're gonna build stuff. This is the time to try new technologies. It's the time to basically go wide and to experiment with different stuff. It's time to experiment with all the programming languages there are. Maybe don't go that over that extreme. Maybe pick a couple of them, choose some technologies that piqued your attention, build something with them, try to follow a course that you can also find all over the internet, and see basically where your interest is leading to. Where I am here. So the main goals of this phase for yourself is to try new things, is to follow your interest in order to see what you like the most and what comes more natural to you, because everyone is different and there is nobody that can recommend you a very specific path in programming. There is nobody who can tell you like, oh, you should be a backend developer because my uncle is a backend developer and he's doing that amount of money. Nobody can say like you need to go into Web3 because Web3 will grow and there will be so many opportunities. It's just up to you to know, to understand and to experiment with stuff and to see what you basically like doing, what is fulfilling to you, and also what comes naturally. Because everything is hard, but some of the things will basically come more natural to us. We will find a bit more joy into the challenges that it provides, and that will keep us in the flow state where we will be able to focus our attention at getting good. Because it's complicated, it's hard, and without enjoying the process, without enjoying the challenges that one technology, one side, or one road might present to you, like, it's crucial. So also it's very important to practice how to learn. And what do I mean here is getting better at learning new stuff. This is a meta skill. This is learning how to learn, but it's so important because, as I said before, our whole career we will basically learn. So knowing how to learn in the fastest way, what resources we are getting the information the best way, it's also very important for this step. It's gonna help you later on to faster learn new stuff, faster get used to it. And yeah, it's the moment to go wide. But in a lot of cases, doing it yourself will most probably feel something like this, like I glued my head to my shoulder. But that's fine, that's okay, because at this moment, by going through these struggles, you are actually learning, because the struggles will generate a question for you. The question will lead you to do some research, and that research will learn you something, will basically change how you thought about things. You're gonna go back to your code and you're gonna say, oh, that's what I have to do here. And from that point on, that's gonna be the best learning opportunity for you, because every time you're gonna encounter something like this, you're gonna know exactly what happens, or in general, you're not gonna go through the same mistakes again because you have this experience. So there is no book, or there is no one who can tell you all the gotchas that comes with programming. You're basically gonna have to go through them yourself. The way to do it is also coming from this book, from Still Like an Artist, a very great book, and I even made a screenshot of one of the pages. And it's about start copying. Basically, nobody is born with a style or a voice. We don't come out of a womb knowing who we are. In the beginning, we learn by pretending to be our heroes. We learn by copying. And here is very important. We're talking about practice here, not plagiarism. Plagiarism is trying to pass someone else's work as your own. Copying is about reverse engineering. It's like a mechanic taking apart a car to see how it works. And exactly like a mechanic who takes apart a car to see how it works, that's how you would approach this phase as well. You will go ahead and try to clone, try to copy these popular applications, try to do it yourself. And yeah, basically how you do it, it's either do it yourself, but in that case, it's going to be quite complicated at this level. So there are thousands of tutorials out there. Here I include a couple of our tutorials. If you are interested in mobile development, we have done probably over 40 projects of all the popular applications that you might be using on your mobile phone. And go ahead and follow these kind of project-based tutorials. And initially, you're gonna write it line by line. You're gonna copy everything that the tutor is doing. And in a bit of time, you're gonna start basically anticipating where only getting the idea and then implementing it yourself. As you progress through this process, you can pause the video more often and try to do things yourself. And another way you could consume this content, and that's what I recommend to everyone watching our tutorials, is to go that extra mile. Whenever we finish a feature, pause the video and implement something else for that feature. Implement something extra. Try to follow your curiosity to see, okay, he didn't show me that, but how I would do it. Let me look through the documentation. Let me try this thing. Will this work? Oh, it doesn't work. Why it doesn't work? Let me look through the internet again. Oh, because I need to do it a bit differently. Oh, because it doesn't support it. Maybe I need another library. Maybe I need something else. So by asking these millions of questions, how can I do that? How can I do this? And trying until you either learn something new or you actually implement that feature. In either way, you're going to learn something new, whether something is possible or not. That's basically the best way to take advantage of the free resources that are out there, the project-based tutorials that you can find. So yeah, go that extra mile. And sooner or later, like, everything will start, basically all the dots will start connecting in your head, and you're gonna need less and less basically side-by-side coding, and you're gonna be able to go wild on your own more often. Yes, you're gonna hit roadblocks in a lot of cases. Yes, it's gonna be hard because there won't be enough resources for your specific problem, but it's gonna train you how to find solution for your problems. And this is a very crucial skill for yourself. At the end of phase 2, we are still in phase 2, going wild. At the end of this phase, you can expect, you can start applying to internships or to junior level jobs. And if you can get an internship or a junior level job, I think this is, for this moment, it's a very good option for you to take, because in the next step, your peers and your environment will help you move along in your career. But of course, this is not the only option, and you can also continue on your own by starting to build more of your own projects, but more on that a little bit later. So, moving on to the third phase. How are people, what are people asking in the live chat? How are you doing, guys? What book is that? The one that I'm sharing, it's still like an artist. But we've got a lot of books, programming books, React Native, React Native, React Native, React Native, and so on. So if you don't want to go into depth into all of the books, just follow a couple of builds and you're gonna be up to speed at this point. Okay, so the majority of programmers will be somewhere at phase 2. Like you might have already some fundamentals, and at this moment, you're basically looking and trying things out, trying to understand what is your passion, what sticks to you, what you love. And you're doing this by trying to build actual prototypes, actual projects, maybe small applications, but still at this moment, these are something that you can basically show in your hands to your friends and they will say like, damn, that's what you build. Like, I cannot believe this. Like a couple of months ago, you were building some kind of calculators application in the console, but now it's something real. It's something in our hands. I think that like something that one student said that when he started with a TikTok build from our application, from our channel, and that was like his first months of coding. And after a couple of weekends, he showed that application to his family, and everyone was shocked that it was him who built that application. And they're like, "You can build that? I didn't know that it's even possible." Like, because you think of these big applications, like, oh my God, must be so hard. But with the right experience and with the right amount of work that you put into it, like everything is possible. All right, so the next phase is phase 3. This is where you already tried a couple of things. And this is already when you know, like, okay, I am sure that I want to go that path. It's either I want to become a front-end web developer or a back-end developer with Node.js. Or maybe you want to build just iOS applications and you're using Swift and that's what you enjoy doing. Or maybe you want to go more to learn one technology and target multiple platforms at the same time with something similar like React Native. And that was my case with the transition from phase 2 to phase 3. In phase 2, I was still doing like some websites for freelancing. I was doing some game development because that's what I thought I enjoyed. But after a couple of months or maybe even up to a year, I realized that building games does not fulfill me. I don't feel like my games will impact or will have a big impact in the world. So I was looking to move more into mobile applications, maybe even web applications. So at this moment, I already had experience with a lot of programming languages and frameworks. And I decided, like, you know what, I'm going to bet on JavaScript because with JavaScript, you can basically move around in the industry. You have a lot of opportunities to move sites. With JavaScript, like if you're working in a company using extensively JavaScript, you can start as a front-end developer building the web application in React.js. And after a month, you can decide that, you know what, I really feel that on the back end, I like more of the logical tasks or the data manipulation task, and I think I will be better on the backend. Boom, you move on the backend and you continue working with JavaScript using Node.js. Maybe later on, the company that you're working at will say like, hey, we need a mobile application. What should we choose? Should we choose Kotlin or Swift, or should we choose JavaScript and basically let our developers that already have experience with JavaScript build the same application? So betting on JavaScript was one of the things that I did at the transition between the phase 2 and phase 3. And going with React.js and React Native was also a bet that I decided to do because, again, with just knowing React, you're going to be able to build web applications with React.js and also mobile applications for iOS, Android, and a lot of other platforms using React Native. So the goal of this phase is to become undeniably good at that thing that you choose. Here, instead of going wide, you're going to go deep. You're going to go a mile deep and a centimeter wide. Like, you're going to pick just the things that you're interested in, and you're going to become the best in the world at that specific skill. So basically, mastering it. How do you do that? Well, you do that with a lot of repetitions, a lot of work, and not necessarily, and yeah, like simply hard work will not help you master them, because with simply hard work, you're going to do the same thing over and over again. What you're interested here to do is to expand your knowledge, go deeper. So everything that you know will serve as a foundation, but you have to go more in depth, learn new stuff, learn better stuff that you don't know at this moment yet. You can do that through books, of course. You can, I have a couple of more advanced books, like if I would want to master the clean architecture, and if we're talking about the architecture, there are like specific books about that topic, so you can check out that as well. A lot of developers at this level, when they are already mastering it, they will go through the documentation. They will be able to quickly go through the documentations to understand a programming language or a technology or a framework, library, anything that they are using. If you are working or if you have an internship, that's a very good moment for you to grow by learning from your environment, by learning from your peers, by engaging in code reviews, giving code reviews, receiving code reviews. These are very good ways to basically learn something new from your colleagues, and also hear the opinion of your colleagues about your code and how you can improve it. So at this moment in my career, I was at Amazon. So during the time that I was working as a software developer at Amazon, I took that opportunity to basically absorb the information from my colleagues the best I could. I was asking questions. I was going through their code, doing code review for them. That's also very important to see how they are doing. And also I was asking them to do code review for myself. Whenever something was not clear, I was not try to ask questions, because still at this moment, you're still learning. You are getting there. You're mastering this. So it's okay to learn a lot of questions. And also during this phase, what you can do is you can find specialized courses. So if you are interested in mobile development, we have a specialized course for you, the Full Stack Mobile Developer, which I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in a moment, in 5 minutes. But with specialized courses, which are not just getting started guides, or they are not just the documentation in a video form or something like that. Courses that are actually going in depth into one specific area of programming, which are taking you from moderate to really advanced topics. These are a very good resource for you at this moment to master something. All right, so yes, this phase will take a lot of time, but at the end of it, it's something that is worth it. Like at the end of it, like you will going to have options and choices. You're gonna be able to choose where to go next. Do you want to advance as a developer inside your company? Do you want to grow up the ladder? Do you want maybe to move into a more managerial role? Do you want to switch companies and by doing that increase your salary? Or what I would do in the next phase, after I became undeniably good at one thing, what I would do, I would actually, in phase 4, I'll build my own stuff. And I would say here I'll build my own shit. Because initially that's shit, but later on you're improving it to be better and better. But yeah, this is time to build that application that you wanted, that you always wanted to. This is the time where you will start a side project. You will start coding after your normal working hours if you have a job, or if you don't, you will even be better for you because you'll be able to spend, 10 or 12 hours a day working on your side project. And it's gonna look, you're gonna work a lot of late nights. That's okay. Sometimes the side projects can grow into small startups. Maybe sooner or later, you're gonna get into Silicon Valley, into some incubators, or you're gonna join some of the companies that also started this way. What you're trying to do here is you're not trying to necessarily, your focus is not on coding features or is not on programming. Your focus is on solving problems. And you're gonna do that by coding, and that is the means of solving a problem. But yeah, it's very important to master this, to build real projects that solve real problems. And it's also advisable, like what I recommend personally is get to market as fast as possible. Like the fastest you get to market, the fastest you will start receiving feedback from your customers, and with that feedback you'll be able to improve your application and continue working on it. So the more feedback you're gonna get, the more iteration you're gonna do, the better your product will become, and at the same time you as a developer will become better, because every problem, every bug that your application will have will be an opportunity for you to learn something new, a new technology, to learn a new concept, to learn why something is happening the way it is. So this is a very good vehicle of both growing professionally as a developer, because by building your own startup, by building your own application, you will learn things that you can not learn anywhere else. Like building something from start to end yourself, from putting the grounds to the application, by growing it feature by feature, by going into places where your code is so unmaintainable, there is so much spaghetti code that you have to go back and refactor it. You have to do all of these decisions, like do we upgrade now, do we spend a couple of days upgrading or not? It's so many decisions that usually in a day-to-day job as a developer, you don't see, you are not part of these decisions. You're maybe not even part of these phases when the application is just getting started. When you join your job, maybe the application was already there and you're just fixing a bug, putting a feature here, putting a feature there. But that's completely different than building everything on your own. Having your server crashed by a lot of traffic and trying to understand like, oh, that's why we need a load balancer. That's why we need an auto-scaling group for our servers. That's when our database will not meet the requirements of this load. So yeah, at this moment, in my opinion, the best way to learn and also have an opportunity to build something impactful out there that will change your life completely is by building real applications. And this morning I actually received a very nice comment on Instagram. Kalmatov said that in October 2022 he decided to start learning React Native, and he had a job and he worked from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. No, he worked from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and then until 3 a.m. in the morning, he was basically watching YouTube projects, grinding, building his own stuff. And after 5 months, he quit the job and started my own startup company. Very soon I will release my app to Play Store. Thank you to your efforts, to the community, I got this chance of learning. So if you really want it enough with a lot of dedications from yourself, a lot of things are possible, but yeah, it takes work, takes dedication and a desire to change something in your life. So, to summarize everything that we talked so far. So, in order to go from zero to hero through a framework that I described here, you would start with the first phase, which is fundamentals. Here, you're gonna learn about the fundamental concepts of programming and how basically computers work, how to write a very simple calculator that will add up a couple of numbers. After you know the fundamentals, what's a variable, what's a loop, what's an array, and how to work with them, you're gonna go wild. Here, you're gonna try a lot of stuff, you're gonna get into frameworks, into different frameworks, you're gonna play and you're gonna build small applications, small maybe clones of applications, and to do that, YouTube is a very good place. If you're interested in mobile development, we have a lot of tutorials to go wild and to build your own applications together with our tutorials. You can check them out on the channel. After you went wild and you tried a couple of things, and when you know what is your interest, what is actually interesting to you, what keeps you in the flow of learning, building, and what brings you fulfillment. When you know that, it's time to basically ignore everything else and focus on that specific thing. Specialize and master it and become undeniably good at that thing in order to be one of the best in the industries. Once you do that, at that point, you basically will not have to worry about the job security, or not, like whenever you're gonna need a job, there will be opportunities for you waiting if you are a master of one thing. After that, there are a couple of options, one of which is to climb the corporate ladder, which I'm not the biggest fan of. I try to stay away from corporate as fast as possible. But what's much more fulfilling, and in my opinion, what will teach you even more, will get out of your comfort zone again, is going to be building your own applications, building impactful application, starting the side projects, starting startups. And basically that's everything the Node.js development community is about. Like, no matter at what phase you are, if you are still at phase 1 learning fundamentals, or you're going wild with our YouTube videos, or you're maybe specializing and mastering full stack mobile development with our course, the goal is to reach this point at the end of a journey where you feel comfortable, you have the necessary skills to build impactful application and make and change the world with the work you do as a developer. So guys, specifically for people who are transitioning from step 2 to step 3, I'm talking about people who decided that, hey, I gave it a try to a couple of tutorials from notjust.dev channel on YouTube, and I really enjoy building mobile applications that you can run on iOS and Android, and seeing how the mobile development industry is growing in the past 10 years, it's really enticing to go into that direction. In the last years, the mobile usage surpassed by far the usage of desktop applications and web traffic. So people are using their phones more and more to interact, to manage their days, to stay connected with others, and to get entertainment from. So if you are one of these person who want to master full stack mobile development and be able to build end-to-end applications, we have something special for you. Here I'm talking about our premium course at academy.notjust.dev that covers that covers the full stack mobile development and will help you master these technologies: React Native for the front end, AWS Amplify on the back end, and will teach you how to build these scalable mobile applications yourself. It's very in-depth. It's specifically that course that will help you master. It's not a course that will show you only the basics and then that's it. For that, there are a lot of tutorials on YouTube. This course is specifically for those who want to master it. We go into depth into a lot of processes, all the way from initializing and building our user interface, all the way until our application is on market and in the hands of the users. So we have covered both the front end, the back end, and also how to manage everything, the DevOps side of mobile applications. And we do that by implementing automatic CI/CD pipelines that would build and deliver the application to our users. So recently, a couple of months ago, we finally finished all the modules that we planned for the course, and there are quite a lot of them. I've been working on the course for the last 2 years, and I've put all my knowledge and everything that I know about building mobile applications in this one single course that we have right now on our academy.notjust.dev, and which is open for enrollment. We already more than 550 students already took this course, and a lot of them are very happy with it, and they got a lot of success stories, which I might share in another live stream. But the whole thing is that we decided with the team to have a flash sale. So only during this week, you have 25% discount for the full stack mobile developer course. And you can enroll now at academy.notjust.dev. And when you are on the checkout, make sure to use this June 25 for the discount. So let me actually show you that. If you go to academy.notjust.dev, you can read more about the course. You can see the flash sale, by the way, is only this week. It ends on Sunday. And I would take advantage of this sale because we very, very rarely do discounts for the course. So it's something special just because we finished all the modules and we want to give the opportunity to more students to take advantage of that. So yeah, once you get here, you can enroll now. And instead of paying $399 with the code June25, you can go ahead and pay only $299, saving more than $100 for this specific part. And the code applies to all our packages. The front end only includes content about React Native, and it includes one specific course for React Native fundamentals and a little bit of the main course, of the main project that we are building during the course. If you want to learn the full stack, both React Native and the backend with AWS Amplify, you choose the full stack package here that includes both everything from the front-end package plus the backend part of the second project. And that backend part, I think, is more than 50% of the course. Like, it's just so much information to learn when it comes to the backend. And from talking with students, I understood that backend is actually the most challenging part when it comes to building full stack mobile applications. With UI, you'll get there. Maybe it's not going to look the best. Maybe you're going to spend a little bit more time to find something. But at the end of the day, you're going to do it. With the backend on the other side, like, it's so easy to just be lost, not knowing how to structure your database, how to model your queries, how to write and how to store securely your files, how to implement authentication or notifications or a feed and following system, or how to do crazy queries that would filter on the backend in the most performant way, not in order to have a cost-effective and a very scalable and fast application. So the full stack package includes everything in terms of video content, and for people that want a more personalized experience, we have the Ultimate package, and here the Ultimate package again includes everything the full stack package includes, plus it includes personalized mentorship, group coaching every single week for 12 weeks with me. We're doing the group coaching every single Monday, and yes, every single Monday with our students, where we can go more in depth into some of the topics that were maybe not clear to you, or we can even talk about your side project and how to best what database solution to use for that, or maybe you have very specific questions. So this is something that people who took the Ultimate package are saying that just for this group coaching session, it is worth joining the course. So yeah, take advantage, because we have only 50 spots available, just to make sure that everyone gets the right amount of attention, and we keep our group coaching sessions relatively small in order for me to be able to address everyone's issues and help everyone personally. So that's the drill. That's everything. You also have 14 days money back guarantee. No question asked. If you don't like it, you can check the specific contents and all the modules of our course right here on the website. I'm not gonna go more into depth, not to bore you, because everything is available. Make sure to join and save 25% discount with the June 25 code at checkout. And starting from the next week, we can get on the group coaching session together and start working towards helping you become a full stack mobile developer. This week, that was my announcement. Let me see if we have any. Rogelio, hello. Rogelio is actually our student. Rogelio, what would you say to people right now that are in the live chat? Should we join the course or not? This is massive. Thank you very much. You've given so much to the community that whatever price you demand is deserved, and I'm confident of the quality of the course. Thank you very much. I really appreciate your comment. Indeed, like, we have a lot of things for free on YouTube, and we are with our YouTube tutorials, we are targeting if we look at this thing, we're targeting the go wild, the people who are in the phase go wild. We are, in a very short amount of time, in a couple of hours, you can build a real application with our YouTube tutorials. Will you become ready to build your own applications, or will you become ready to build this complex application and become a senior developer with our YouTube tutorials? Maybe not, because they are specifically targeted to people who are still experimenting and are still trying new things. And our course is here for those who are serious about full stack mobile development, who want to master these skills and know all it takes to build mobile applications. So, and maybe later we're gonna have something for fourth step as well, but that's very early teasing. All right, guys, so besides this, what we prepared for you this week, we prepared a week packed of content. So already on the channel, you will see another 3 videos scheduled on Wednesday, in 2 days. At the same time, we're going to have a Q&A session. So if you have any questions about the course or in general about React Native or profession or career or development, anything that might interest you, drop them down below in the comments. Also, I'm gonna create some posts on social media where you can ask me. And on Wednesday, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a quick Q&A session where I will answer your most burning questions about React Native, full stack mobile development, the course, and anything else. Then on Thursday, we're gonna cover the new update of React Native. Previous week, React Native 0.72 became the latest version, the latest stable version of React Native, and it introduced a lot of new and cool stuff that we've been waiting in React Native for quite a while. So on Thursday, we're gonna do that, and on Friday, it's not yet scheduled, but we're gonna have a build. We're gonna have a project-based build, as usual Fridays. So make sure to keep an eye on the channel, hit notify me on all the videos in order not to miss them out. And for the ones that will be active this week, we also thought to give something back to you. So we're thinking what to give back. And something that is very egoistic for me, because I really enjoy talking with and helping people with their projects, helping developers, and also something that might be beneficial to you is a 1-hour consultation with Vadim, with me. So if you want to join the giveaway, and if you have some specific questions to me about your career, or maybe about a project that you're building. I know a lot of Node.js developers are out there building and grinding on their own side projects, on their own applications. If that's one of you and you need my advice, you need my help, then this is a moment where you can do that. So the rules will be simple. Write down in the comments of any of this week's video, why do you need a consultation for? Give me a couple of reasons what you would like to talk about, and the most creative answer, or the answer that will attract, will pick our eyes, will win a 1-hour coaching session with me that we can arrange at any time. So the winner will also be announced on Sunday. So make sure to write down in the comments, not in the live chat, but in the comments, why, what would you talk with me? What questions would you have for me during this consultation call? And we're gonna pick one on Sunday. So guys, that's mostly everything that I wanted to say before seeing you on Sunday. Let me see if we have any questions today. Please make a social media application. Yeah, we can. Actually, the course focuses a lot on a very big social media application, and a lot of our students, the way they are taking advantage of a course is first going through the course and building that social media application, and then they are working on their own social media application. And what they're doing is they're just, when they get into a problem, they know where to find it in the course. They go there, they watch a video, and they implement it in their application. And this way, the course becomes like a template for them, or as a guide for them to work on their own applications and to always know what should I do next. All right, guys. So I still have one meeting today, so I don't want to miss that one. I'm meeting with some startups to help them with their applications. And what I wanted to say, don't forget about our June campaign. All the way until the end of this week, until the end of June, you can enroll to the academy.notjust.dev, academy.notjust.dev, so many notjust.dev, with the promo code June25 and benefit of 25% discount. I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I hope you enjoy the development roadmap that I laid down to you. I really hope that it will help you if you feel stuck, to navigate and to know like where to go next. And I will see you on Wednesday with answering your burning questions about React Native.